Diane Larche has a heart of gold that's built on inspiring others to see past the present and visualize the future. Married for over 20 years, she's a lifelong community servant and advocate who has served as a former vice president of the Community Outreach for the Junior League of Atlanta, board member of the League of Women's Voters of Atlanta, Fulton County, the Lupus Foundation of America, Georgia chapter, and the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc., Atlanta alumni chapter. She's received accolades from the Big Brothers Big Sisters Metro Atlanta Big Sister of the Year. Rolling Out called her one of the 25 most influential women in Atlanta. She's a who's who in Black Atlanta and named on Atlanta Business League's 100 Black Women of Influence. Diane's boutique full-service PR advertising and marketing firm, Larche Communications, has had a roster full of Atlanta's who's who, from the Urban League, United Negro College Fund, to creating Family Food Fest that showcases men's culinary skills for Father's Day. Nothing is closer to the heart of this Philadelphia native and University of Pittsburgh alum than being founding president of the Greater Atlanta section of the National Council of Negro Women, the largest section ever to be chartered in the organization's 84-year history. Its many community initiatives include a focus on foster care students, spearheading sex traffic awareness and prevention, as well as exposing elementary students to STEAM education. For always elevating the standard and living a life built on the words of Dr. Dorothy Height, my mother helped me understand how not to show off what I knew, but how to use it so that others might benefit. That's why Diane Larche is Cafe Mocha's 2019 Salute Her Trailblazer honoree.
Thank you, Deborah. And thank you, Sheila. Good evening, everyone. Sheila and I have been friends and colleagues for more than 20 years. And I thank you for the Trailblazer Award. And thank you to all of Cafe Mocha, including my soror, Lonnie Love, who's not here tonight, Angelique, Alex, and the whole team. Yesterday, the National Council of Negro Women, Incorporated, celebrated its 84th anniversary. We were founded, thank you. We were founded in 1935 by Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune. Dr. Dorothy Irene Height, who was my mentor, served as president of the organization for more than 40 years. Our $8 million national headquarters at 633 Pennsylvania Avenue sits between the White House and Congress. So African American women are sitting right in the seat of power. As our former president and CEO, Ingrid Saunders Jones, always says, we are alive, we are well, we are solvent, and ready for the future. As I think of some of the things that we do in the community, you saw a lot of that. They talked about it, our work with sex trafficking. I'm happy to have my cousin, Dr. Charnel Miles, who created the legislation along with school board member Erica Mitchell. They were the first in the state of Georgia to create programs and procedures for sex trafficking, awareness, and to come up with solutions. And she's here tonight. I'm glad she's here. She's the director of the Social Justice Cafe for Girls, and she comes to speak to us at NCNW so that we make sure that we know what's happening in that area. This year, we adopted a brand new elementary school, Harper Archer Elementary. We are partnering with them to get them STEAM ready. They will be one of the first elementary schools to be certified in STEAM. So we're very, very proud of that. 3 things I really want to share with you is we provide trunk parties for the Carrie Still Pitts home. It's a home for homeless youth. And when they go off to college, every year we put together a trunk party where we give them everything they need for their dorm. And 2 years ago, one of our students at Savannah State he literally cried, and he told us, he had all of us crying, he told us he had never had a suitcase in his life or a trunk. He would wait until all the other students were asleep when he went to school his freshman year and drag a trash bag with everything he owned into his dorm. So he told us, thank you, because now I don't have to be ashamed. I can go during the day and take all my wonderful gifts you gave me into my dorm room. And those are the things that we're most proud of. The second is Brittany Blake. She was one of our collegiates. We have over 15 collegiate sections from Spelman, Clark Atlanta, West Georgia, Kennesaw, Emory, University of Georgia, Georgia State, Valdosta State, Savannah State, just across the state. And she was from Valdosta, and I offered an internship, because I'm a sports writer. I cover the Atlanta Falcons. And I said, whoever writes the best essay will be my intern for a day. So she wrote an essay, and her mother drove her up here for 4 hours. You saw her on the video. And she came up, she spent the day, she got to meet Arthur Blank. She checked the roster and found there was someone from her school on the Falcons roster. And she ended up, we videotaped her doing the fight song with that member of the Falcons. He was so excited to have her, one of his members of his alma mater there. But what really touched me was we kept in touch, and earlier this year, she was ready to go to graduate school. She's going to be in broadcast communications. She called me up and said, I would like you to write my letter of recommendation for the schools. And I'm proud to say that I wrote a letter for like 7 or 8 schools, but she got her first choice, and I'm just so excited that she's a freshman now in South Florida. So it just goes to show we have to reach back. If each one reach one, even if it's just one person, it makes a difference in their lives. And finally, there's a photographer. She would come to the Mayor's Mass Ball or my Father's Day event where we highlight and celebrate our men of color, African American men, who don't often get to be seen in a positive light. And she always comes, and I said, yeah. She said, I need to bring my son with me. I said, fine, come on. About a year ago at the Mayor's Mass Ball, she came to me and said, I have a gift for you. I said, oh, okay. And so they left the box, and they put it in my room. And when I opened it, it was this beautiful velvet blue suitcase. And it still had a price tag on it. It was like $400. And I called her up, and I'm like, what is this for? She said, you didn't know, but a couple years ago, my son and I were homeless. And when you invited us to come and you let me bring him to work and let us eat, that was the only meal we had that day. So she's the type that dresses from head to toe. She has the finest, her hair is always great. She dresses, makeup, everything. So I remember what I've always heard, that you don't always look like what you're going through. So, yeah. So my motto, if I can help somebody along the way, then my living is not in vain. Thank you.